Hey there, YouTubers. We are getting close to the end of the major Sabbaths. We are now on Lunacy, also known as Lammas, or the first harvest. Um, this is a major Sabbath that occurs around in August. Um, this is the time of the sacrificial king, whose self-sacrifice allows the people who worship him to survive through the winter. We say that his blood is poured out upon the field so that the corn and grain harvest will thrive. His spirit enters into the corn and the grain and is then known as John Barleycorn. As the god dies with the harvest of the grain, so also is he resurrected in new sprouts. So therefore we are given the myths of the gods who are sacrificed and then reborn again and again. These myths occur in every country and culture and are just too numerous to name. A good book to look into would be Ancient Ways by Pauline and Dan Campanelli. Baking bread and corn muffins then are very sacred. The cakes for ritual are usually homemade corn muffins. You can try doing them as gingerbread, shaped men. When you're making this, make sure that you're chanting positive affirmations while stirring or kneading the dough. Corn husks are excellent to outline the circle area and to burn in the cauldron after they have dried out. It's really interesting because at this time you can also make corn dolls or corn-filled poppets. By about this time you should really be seeing some efforts of your work that you started earlier in spring starting to manifest itself. Look at your life and see where you have aimed and if you are still on target. If you're not on target, then stop and reanalyze where you need to be. Okay? As the sun is waning now, even though the heat has increased, we will be turning more and more inward until we finish this process at Samhain. This is just the start, so don't be too hard on yourself if you haven't done all that you set out to do. There's still time before the winter to accomplish those things which need the sunlight and summer breezes to grow, and don't let the lazy, sultry summer heat sap you out of your strength and determination. Definitely try to get in touch with your pagan community in your area around this time, because what greater time than to get together than the time of the harvest. This is only the first harvest. Mabon is the last. There's no greater celebration than seeing the fruit that you are now being able to obtain. This holiday may not be one of my favorites because it makes me really sit back and think about all the things that I've done and all the things that I still want to do. But this is a great time for meditation. This is a great time to start planning for the next year as well. I think that everybody should really be connected in their pagan community if you are a pagan anyway. But this is a great time, if any other time, to try and get connected to your pagan roots. Even if it's just as simple as taking a psychic class, or just walking into your local pagan shop and talking to the cashier. You never know who you're going to meet in a pagan shop, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you a little story about when I was taking my CNA training. For those of you who don't know, a CNA is a certified nursing aide or a nursing assistant. I thought I was the only pagan in school. Boy, was I wrong. I had been really lonely and I was trying to study as hard as I could. By the way, I did pass. For those of you who are wondering, I am a certified nursing aide. I did pass. I graduated back in June. And it is now July, going into August. So I thought this video would be the best time now to try and make you guys appreciate being pagan, and not just being pagan, but connecting with your fellow pagans. I wished and hoped so hard and for so long, between college and then going to Votech and everything else, that I would be able to find another pagan who would be able to share like-mindedness with me. It is a very difficult task, especially when you live in a place where Wicca or paganism in general is frowned upon. Now, I'm going to state this in this video: the series that I'm doing is not completely and utterly all the different pagan religions. It doesn't apply to all of them. However, it does apply to most Wiccan traditions, and as most of you know, I'm an eclectic Wiccan. But back to my story, I did end up finding somebody in my school who was taking a medical assistant class. She had stumbled across me studying one day, and she asked me if I knew the answer to one of the questions. And it was pertaining to the ethics of what you should do in a certain situation. I gave her my answer, and when I did, she just happened to look down at what was glittering around my neck at the time. Which, for some of you who haven't seen in most of my other videos, this is what has been glittering around my neck the entire time. She noticed it, and she just happened to pull out hers. Her necklace just glowed with this beautiful, radiant white energy. And although the pentacle was very simple, the only attribute to it that stood out was a small raven that clutched to the side of it. Now, I'm going to be doing a video about how to bless your jewelry in order to obtain a glow like this to other pagans. But it just goes to show that no matter where you are, there is a pagan, and you should at least make some sort of effort to try and communicate with them. Whether it's just as simple as talking to them about schoolwork, or talking about how to plant, your favorite tree, how to plant a vine. I mean, it can be so simple as just to say hello, shake their hand, introduce yourself. Okay, this here is a great time to try and connect. Any time really is a great time to connect, but I think at this time, before the final harvest, is the greatest time of all to try and connect with your brothers and your sisters of the pagan path. I hope you all really enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my little story. I know I kind of go off on a tangent sometimes, but I hope you really enjoyed this, and I hope you learned a lot from it, and I hope you do go out, and I hope you do try to find somebody. I don't care if it's as simple as somebody who's visited your YouTube page who sees you as being like-minded. Just try. That is the key. You have to try. If you don't try, how are you ever supposed to know if you can do it or not? And that applies to just about anything. But anyway, this is Lady SilverVixen, and I'm signing out.